tour, I want you to know the difference between you and a local. For the next 75 minutes, you guys are all Chicagoans in training. Because you got a lot to get to in 75 minutes. So, let's not waste any more time. Let's get into it. We're starting our tour here today in between our two main bodies of water. Lake Michigan to the left, and the Chicago River to the right, which we'll explore today. We've got 20% of the world's liquid freshwater in the Great Lakes system behind us. We have very convenient connection to the Midwest, East Coast, and Canada. And the Chicago River here eventually connects all the way down to the Mississippi and then the Gulf of Mexico. So this was a very convenient spot to meet up and do trade back in the day, which is how we first got our start. Our first settler was Jean-Baptiste Point du Sable. He's a French-Haitian man of African descent, set up shop where the Apple store is now, established the backbone of our fur trading industry when we first got our start. The street and the plot of land to the right are both named after du Sable. We got the newly renamed du Sable Lakeshore Drive in the back, and the undeveloped du Sable Park here. This park is also a great example of what Chicago looked like when he got here, pardon me. It's mostly grasslands and marshes. In fact, even our name Chicago comes from our past as basically a swamp. It comes from the Potawatomi word Eshkagwa, which means stinkweed. It's a type of onion which grew along our shorelines before there was a city. So you think about New York being the Big Apple. Here in Chicago, we're literally the little stinky onion. That's where we get our name from. 100% true. So, very humble beginnings as the little stinky onion, but somehow we managed to become the third most populated city in the U.S. We got nearly 3 million people downtown. It's 2.7 last I checked. Houston's creeping up on us, but we still got it for now. And if you count Chicago land, which includes our suburbs, we got nearly 10 million people, which for comparison is more than all 5 New York City boroughs, with 1 million people left over. It spans 3 different states and is the 22nd largest metropolitan area in the world. So again, a lot of people consider us home. And we'll see some of that architecture on the other side of Du Sable Lakeshore Drive that draws people in and makes them want to stay. But I think one of the other appeals is our neighborhoods. We've got over 200 different neighborhoods here in the city, each with their own unique style, taste, and flair. And one of my main recommendations for anybody visiting our city is to get out and see them. It's a little bit something out there for everybody. The main thing that they have, though, is our nightlife. People expect us to be like New York, the city doesn't sleep. Not true. Downtown Chicago is the city with a bedtime of 8 o'clock. Try to go out after the tour, you're going to see what I mean. It's hard to know what to do. And that's because we work downtown, but it's way too expensive to live down here. We go back out to the neighborhoods to eat, sleep, drink, play. So I'm going to make sure you have plenty of nightlife recommendations on this tour, so you do have something to do after the tour. We'll get to those in a moment, but first, get those cameras out. This is one of the best views we get on the tour, right at the start of it. Get a beautiful shot with the sun setting, some of that awesome architecture I mentioned on full display. I'll give you a second to really take this shot in, then we'll start breaking down some of the buildings we can see. But first, enjoy this beautiful view. You guys picked the perfect time for a tour. Now, first building I want to point out is coming up on the left here. We got a wavy glass building going up in 3 parts. Kind of looks like a lava lamp. This is the St. Regis. It's our 3rd tallest building in the city, but the tallest structure in the world by a female architect. Her name is Jeannie Gang of Studio Gang. In 2019, she won the world's most influential architect award. I love to claim her, called the People's Architect, because she helps out on our public transportation systems, including the new addition to International Airport that's going in just next year. But when you make super tall buildings like this right off of Lake Michigan, we got to factor in a main structural difficulty that we have here in Chicago called sway. We are the windy city, get a lot of lake effect wind, and our taller buildings are literally built to sway in that wind. We're going to talk about 3 different methods of sway reduction on our tour that you can use to cut back the sway your building experiences. This particular building uses all 3. But the first one I want to point out is all the way up on the 83rd and 84th floors. If you look up there, you can